Good morning, good morning, students. Today we will discuss about this topic, tumor-targeted drug delivery system. When we talk about the tumor, so previously we want to discuss about the cell and the cell cycle. When we talk about the cell, so in the healthy body, cell grows. After growing, what happened that cell get divide and then uh, replace each other into the body. And next step is the that old one are there, they get dies, and again the new cells are formed. So this is a common cell cycle in the human body. So in healthy human, this development of the cell and destruction of the cell is a very routine process. But if there is some changes occurs in this process, especially this in the this portion, that is the division portion. So there is a mass or the lumps of cells, so we call it as a tissue. Group of cells are the tissues, so they form. So a mass or a lump of cell is formed in that particular place or in that particular body organ. So such lump or the mass is called as the tumor. So how that tumor develop? So tumor develops when cell divide more than they should do, or do not die when they should. Means there is a tremendous that generation of the cell, and the rate at which it should die, that they not follow that rate. So there is increase in the number of the cell or a mass of the cell, and we call it as a tumor. So many times there are such mass of the cells are available in the body. So all these mass are not cancerous. Okay, so we already discussed that a normal cell division, and then it there is a replacement and it get dies. And in tumor, the rate of division is very high and the rate of destruction is very low. So we have to eradicate such tumor places or the group of the cells. And to eradicate such group of the cell, means to destruct such group of the cell, lot of medicines are available, and we have to give that medicine to the patient, and that medicine should go to that particular site. In general, what happen if we take a medicine through any route, generally through oral or parenteral, it goes to the body, each and every parts of the body within a minutes. Where we talk about the IV, so within a minutes it reach to the all parts of the body. And when we talk about the oral routes, so it takes around half an hour to 1 hour to enter into the body depending upon the dosage form. So when we apply or when we pass such drugs into the body, it goes to each and every parts of the body, and such drugs may be very toxic, they may be very costly. So the cost of the therapy is increased, and the side effect of such drug is increase. So uh, to avoid such uh, that side effects related to that drug, uh, there is need of a specific drug delivery which will go to that particular place where we thought that there is a mass of the cell. So such types of drug delivery is oftenly called as the targeted drug delivery. So in targeted drug delivery, there is a drug accumulation. Okay, in that particular place, means where we want that drug get accumulated, and it is independent of the method and the routes of drug administration. Means method and routes of administration, it is an independent, means whatsoever routes we are using or administration ways we are using, that it should get accumulated into that particular place only, then only we will call it as a targeted drug delivery. And when we talk about the targeted drug delivery, many literature we will found that they are having showed that this particular route, route, um, the drug is reached to that particular place. So we have to be very cautious when we talk about this targeted drug delivery, because there is some counter literatures are also there that they are saying that one author saying that 90% drug has been reached to that particular X place. One literature saying that only 50%, only 30% drug has been reached. So depending upon the that instruments you are using, or the methods you are using, or the physiology of the body, all these um, uh, uh, that results varies. So we have to be very cautious while using this targeted drug delivery. Our ultimate aim is to accumulate the drug into that particular place. So for that reason we go with this targeted drug delivery. So, effective targeted drug delivery system requires four key requirement. We already discussed. That is number one, it should be present at that particular site. Okay, means it should be present at that particular site for certain period of time. So retention is most. Then it should evade that particular site, that particular dosage form we are using, it should go to that particular place only. So we call it as the target, and it should release the medicament only after reaching to that target site. So these are the requirement. What should? Number one, it should be there. It should reach to that particular place only, means the target. After place, it should release the medicament at that particular site. It should be evade that particular site. It should retain the medicament at that particular site. So if they are fulfilling these requirements, we can say that we develop the targeted drug delivery. When we talk about the active and passive drug delivery system, you again found many literatures. So in general, again we will discuss is what happens in general when we take a drug through older route or any other routes, say parental routes. It goes to the blood. Ultimately, it goes to the blood, and then after it reaches to the that particular site. So uh, mainly, the blood circulation is very important when we talk about this targeted drug delivery system. So, this passive or active, these are the terms. Basically, your drug should be in the blood circulation, and your drug is continuously moving into the body. So, mainly the that vessels present at that particular site plays a major role in transportation of the drug. Are you getting? Your drug is present in the blood circulation, means into that vessels. So the vessels are plays a major role in transportation of the drug, and ultimately, if that vessels have more pore size, or they have the leaky nature, they are very thin, then these types of transport of drug is very easy. So based upon the drug accumulation in that particular area, okay, on which basis, depending upon the leaky vasculature and the blood circulation. So we achieve this passive targeting by this blood circulation. Through blood circulation, drug goes into that particular site, and from there it get absorbed. In general literature, we also discuss that passive is uh, s- uh, concentration gradient dependent system order targeting. So here we can not word use the word targeting, because your drug is going towards all the body system. Are you agree? Your drug is present at all over the body. So we can't say it is a targeting. So, but it is not a targeting. It is a passive transport of your drug to that particular place. It may be happens that your drug may be present at the healthy organ or at the healthy site. So the commonly when we talk about this passive targeting, it is referred as enhanced permeation and retention effect. You will found this word in many modern literature. Enhance, see the word enhance means increase, permeation and retention. If permeation is increased, drug will enter, and if that drug will be there, so we can say that there is the EPR effect is there. So we can have alternative words to this passive targeting. So what happens in the passive targeting? Drug is present in your blood. Due to leaky vasculation, your drug reaches to that particular site and it retains there. So we can say that we achieve the targeting. So passive targeting happens to almost all drug carrier. Okay, we already discussed whether such distribution is intended or not. Means it reaches to every site. While the EPR effect may be in effect for the IV administered nano drug delivery. Means many a times it believes that when we administer the drug in a nano form through IV route, this EPR is more, because what is the meaning of this? Enhance permeation and retention. So due to that nanostructure, okay, what basic they applied? Due to that nanostructure, there is enhance permeation, means permeation is increase. Why? Due to this vesicular structure. Okay, and it get attached to that particular site, so there is retention is there. If it get removed from that particular site, we will not get that much action. But in cancer, there is again literature says that this cancer structure, they have lot of capillary. Okay, so the nutrient is goes to that particular site, but at the same time what happens, there is very less space to remove that nutrients. So in passive targeting, due to that nano size, what happens, that drug get enter into that particular space, and it get accumulated at there. So this EPR effect is very common with such types of nano drug delivery. So that's why we are discussing a targeted drug delivery. So the majority, see the next majority of administered nanoparticle are get accumulated into the organ. When I did my PhD work, I also get such types of literature that in particular these organs, liver, spleen, lung, or even though in the kidney, that drug get accumulated. Okay, so due to this accumulation, okay, what happens, there may be a toxic effect to such organs. So we have to keep in mind that the drug, that toxic level of drug should not get reach to that level. So that's why we can prevent these organs damage to such types of organs. So the majority of such nanoparticle get accumulated into this organ. So these are some literatures in bottom you can find the references. They mention such types of studies that they observe, and this also was confirmed by me. So Now we will go with that active targeting. So itself name indicate active means it requires some activation or other uh, more than one instrument things are involved and going at particular side due to that uh, third one. So it is an activated. So the specific interaction between drug carrier and the targeted cell, we can say that there is active targeting. Means drug and drug carrier get reacted with that particular cell. Reaction means what? It may get attached, it may get penetrate, it may get destroy to that particular cell. So all these activity comes under this active targeting. So the specific ligand receptor interactions are there. Ligand means what? Which binds to that particular receptors. There are the so many receptors present over the cell. Every cell have their unique receptors also. They all cell doesn't have all types of receptor. Many receptors are there, and particularly uh, that virus or that particular bacteria or such types of cell get uh, have that particular attaching body, and they attach to that particular cell only. So we can't say that a particular virus affect the respiratory system. They also affect the liver, they also affect the brain, or they affect to that toe also. So they have some receptors are there, and depending upon that binding sites, they shows the action. Drug also have same action. We can't use paracetamol in some diabetic conditions. We can't use metformin as a painkiller because they have certain binding sites. They have that particular structure which binds to the receptor which are present over the cell. So the specific ligand receptor interactions are involved in active targeting. So what is this ligand receptor? So the ligand receptor interactions are possible only when two components are in close proximity. It is less than zero point 0.5 nanometer means the cell having the receptor and your ligand having the key. So that key should be in close contact with that particular lock. So that's why it is possible for that particular dosage form to open the lock and to enter into that cell. We will summarize all these targeted drug delivery. Number one is the systemic targeted based on the blood circulation and extravasation. So there is ligand receptor interaction method, and the second one is the locally activated drug delivery. When we talk about the local, so self trigger release of the drug at the targeted cell means drug itself get released at that particular site. Second, we will require some activation, or we will require some ligand, or we will require some external force. So that's why that drug get binds to that particular cell and release the medicament that we already discussed. Then intracellular targeting. Intra means cell, into that particular cell. How will target? So the low pH activation technologies that use default pathway delivery to the lysosomes. We have some pH activation technology means pH dependent delivery is there at that particular pH. That polymer get enter into that particular cell and it will react with that lysosomes. Second is mechanism that avoid lysosomal delivery means by default without involving that liposome it enters into the cell due to that pH related factors. So these are the two deliveries we can classify into intracellular targeting. Now we will discuss about the targeting through IV administered system, that is the intravenous drug delivery. Number one, we already discussed that EPR effect. Due to that nano structure, drug get accumulated and drug get pass and accumulated at that particular site. Second one, which is we want to study is properties of such nanoparticles. So due to these smaller molecules, molecular size, that nanoparticle get accumulated as compared to the larger size. But when we discuss about the retention, this larger will get retained for the more time as compared to the smaller. Why? Because again that the size of the capillary, pores of the capillary, that pores are so small, so there is a problem, or that larger molecule found problem in that comes out from that particular cell. So thus size is an important factor. So initially what we can say that if it is small, it can enter very easily. But if they are larger, it is very difficult to come out. So the size is very important factor. And whenever we want to go with certain targeted drug delivery system, that size we have to consider. In many drug delivery, we require a larger size. In some delivery, we require a very small size. Depending upon the organ, depending upon the targeted size, we we have to we have to choose the particles. Many drugs, if your drug size is very small, your drug that or the dosage form size is very small, it gets circulated for the larger period of time into your blood, and here you can get a larger blood concentration of that particular drug. But if your particle size is more, it will get engulfed by the macrophages, it will get engulfed by the organs which we already discussed, like liver, kidney, spleen. So there is accumulation in that particular organ if your particle size is more. So if you want to target such organ, you keep the particle size more. If you want more blood circulation for that particular uh, drug, keep particle size small. I think now you understand related to this size of the particle. So this size is very important when we want to control the that particular drug into that tumor, and again to preventing it comes out from the that particular place. When we talk about the liposomes, so if liposomes have the size less than 90, many literature say that 150, 100, so it get extra vasate from the liquid tumor vessels. Okay, but do not diffuse away effectively from the tumor even after a week. So this study was performed related to liposomes. Now this chart shows that what is the effect of size over the biological system. If the size of that nano system, it may be the nanoparticle or liposomes in general we are talking, if it is uh, around 4.5 nanometer, abundant small pores present in the normal tissue endothelium. Okay, so they get enter into that tissues through that small pores, because the size is very small, our particle size is very small. If the particle size is around 25 nanometer, relatively few large pores present in the normal tissues. Okay, if uh, uh, your size is 25, so the over that cell, the pores which is having the diameter of 25 nanometer is very small compared to the 4.5. See, we can say that if there are the 100 pores over the cell, so 4.5, the pores having the size of 4.5 maybe 50. We are just thinking. but 25 have only 5 or only 10 pores. So relatively, if the particle size of that particular drug is 25 nanometer or more, very few drug will enter into the cell as compared to the 4.5. Because if the 4.5 is there, that 25 millimeter nanometer size pores, from that 25 nanometer pores, that 4.5 millimeter particle will also pass. So this is the advantages for the nano size. If your particle size is around 20 to 50 nanometer, average size of polymeric micelles without loaded drugs. So if there are the polymeric micelles are there, okay, so drug can incorporate it into that such particular polymeric micelles. If 100 nanometer is there, frequently tested size of drug loaded polymeric micelles. So generally 100 nanometer size of that particular missiles is kept for the targeted. If it is 150, propose cutoff size for the particle extravasation in liver. So liver has blood vessels with fenestrations around 100 to 150. So if the particle size is more, so there is it may get trap into that liver. Okay, so we need a more particle size, say more than 175 if we want to target. Then if the particle size is around 200 nanoparticle, less than 200 nanometer have significantly longer circulation time due to low uptake by RES system. So this again a point we have to keep in mind, that if we keep a particle size less than 200 nanometer, it will circulate into the blood for longer period of time. And if the particle size is more than 150 or 200 nanometer, it will be readily taken up by the RES system or macrophages, and that drug get inactivated. If the size of the drug is around 380 nanometer, a tumor-dependent functional pore cutoff size, which is range in between 200 nanometer to 1.2 micron. The pores present over the tumor, its size is ranging between 200 to 1.2. But the pore cutoff size of the porous blood vessel in majority of tumor is around 380 only to 780 nanometer. Means the range for the EPR effect should be similar. What is its meaning? The pores present over the tumor have the size in between 200 to 1.2 micron. Means maybe smaller and larger pores are there, but the vessels which supplying the blood, they have the vesicle size of 380 to 780 nanometers. So if your particle size is more than 780, it will take more time to reach, but it get trapped into that tumor size, because the it will not go reversely due to that size range 780. Okay, if the particle is 200 nanometer, it will easily pass into the tumor, it will easily comes out from the tumor, because the tumor size, pore size is 200 nanometer, and the vesicle size is 380 nanometer. So 200 can pass through 380, and reversely it goes into the circulation. Then 400 nanometer size is there. Sterically stabilized liposomes of around 400 nanometers. Sterically stabilized means was we coated that liposomes with the PEG, polyethylene glycol. We call it as a pagylation. We also call it as the sterically stabilization, which will be able to penetrate into the tumor interstitium. Accumulation of the hyaluronic acid coated nanoparticles in the tumor tissue is also observed by some researchers. So again, 400 nanometer size is there, and if we coat it with the PEG, so there may be chance that it will get accumulated into that particular tumor size. If the particle size is 500 nanometer, the maximum size of the nanoparticle allowing penetration through cell membrane is known to be 500 nanometer. If 1 micron is there, particles below 1 micron were taken up by the pairs patches and then migrated to mesenteric lymph node. If the particle size is around 5 micron, see, if the particle size is 5 micron, it will not get penetrated into this tumor, or it is not suitable to incorporate into the micelles. Okay, it will not go with that passive targeting. Active targeting is required. So the upper limit for rigid particles circulated within the smallest capillaries. Okay, if particle size is 5 micron, if the particle size is 40 micron, have been used for immobilization therapy. Immobilization means what? It get deposited at that particular site only where we administer it. So this is the impact of particle size on the biological system. So from this chart, we came to know that how this size plays a major role in the transportation. See, accumulation is there, there is vasation is there. So all these are depends upon the size of that particular particles. Okay, so size plays a major role. If you want to target to that liver or the macrophages, you increase the size. If you want to circulate is reduce the size. If you want to enter into that particular tumor, keep its size up to 150 to 200 nanometer, around that 380, not more than that. So that drug get accumulated into the tumor species. So with this we stop today. Okay,